Good morning, good morning. All right, how you guys feeling? You know what time it is, you know what rhyme it is. Of course, I am A6, your host for today's show. Not going to be too long, but might not be too short too, because I kind of have a lot to say. Not a lot, but a fair amount. So, before we begin, I appreciate, as usual, if you could subscribe, same thing every time. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, I greatly appreciate it. And, let me know what you think about today's topic. Comment something in the comment section if there's information I don't know about or something I was wrong about. Have no problem with engaging in conversations with people at all. So anyway, moving on to the topic today. So I woke up and I started reading articles. I think the first article I read was from ABC News, and there was a federal judge, Latina. I can't remember exactly what her name was at this time, but a federal judge. She actually had a person dressed in a FedEx outfit come to her door and shoot her son through the heart and then injure her husband, but did not kill her. She was downstairs in the basement. So the son got dropped, and then the husband was shot. And this is a federal judge in charge of the Epstein case. I think it was some kind of judges involved in the whole Epstein situation. So, man, like I said, I'm not exactly clear on what her position is. Otherwise, the judge, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on in terms of, what her role is, everything. I just know she's a judge, of course. But, that is insane, man. Like, and nobody's really talking about this from what I'm reading on the feeds. People are talking about some stupid shit. They still talking about the Rick Ross and August Alsina. This shit is killing me, man. Like, people are not paying attention to what the fuck is happening. And then they're wondering why we gotta walk around with these fucking masks on. People aren't paying attention. Like, this whole shit is all intertwined. And they don't realize they're even being distracted from what's happening. And it's frustrating because people I knew to be intelligent, like, supposed to be smarter than me, to be very sharp and intelligent about everything that's going on, sometimes teach me stuff, are just completely oblivious to everything that's happening. You got these people, you got us honestly fighting each other over masks. Like, at the end of the day, if you look at the data that's not being presented on CNN and ABC and all them other news networks that are run by pretty much the Democratic Party, who have been lying to black people for years to keep us voting for them and have done nothing for us at all, are known liars. And you still believe in these publications that are pretty much run by them, that are backing them and backing their candidates. It's obviously a system to keep you believing that they're set up for you when they're not. And like, you can't, people really stop listening after 3 words in. The third word you say against what they believe, they completely tune you out. They just wait for you to finish talking. And then even if you mention everything they're about to say and what you just said, they will continue to talk like you didn't just speak at all. And I'm kind of wondering if there's something else at play here. Like, I know there was an experiment they had put out. I think it was 3-4 years ago, where they played a sound, and like some people said they heard one sound, and then other people said they heard another sound. And I'm kind of wondering if that has something to do with what's going on right now. It could possibly be, because like, if I'm telling you exactly what you just, if I told you exactly what you just asked me after I told you that, and you're not hearing it when I repeat myself, something obviously else is going on there. And these are not stupid people. This is what bothers me the most about this whole situation. These people are not stupid. Like, these people are actually supposed to be smart people. Like, otherwise, other than this, they're pretty sharp. But like, for some reason, they can't seem to grasp they're being lied to. And it's the weirdest thing ever. It's the fucking weirdest shit ever. Like, Florida, there was a doctor that basically pretty much was a whistleblower, quote unquote, in Florida, and they were talking about how Florida's cases are rising. So he said 2 cases in particular really disturbed him. He said, they said, well, what happened? He said, well, one case, there was a gentleman that was pretty much, well, both cases, there were gentlemen that were pretty much declared positive for the COVID-19. So she goes on to say, well, what was so weird about that? He said, well, one, you can't really prove it because the tests aren't really 100%. Like, the tests are suspect. And then 2, one of them was in a car accident. How is it that every time we turn around, somebody dying of something else is getting labeled as COVID and blowing the numbers up. This is the kind of shit that caused a shutdown in the first place. And people don't even realize that these shutdowns are pretty much being forced on us by false information. And the sooner we all get on the same page and say, yo, you know what? Y'all full of shit. Fuck y'all. We gonna keep doing our thing. Fuck all y'all. If everybody stood up and did that at the same time, we literally would not have to wear no fucking mask, and there'd be nothing they could do about it at all. They can't do shit. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones with the physical power because we're the people. And this is the same shit our ancestors fought for, black and white. I mean, you had black people. I'm talking about black people, right? I'm not even talking about liberal white people. Because the conservative redneck white people, and even the ones that aren't redneck, though, all the conservatives pretty much know what the fuck's going on. And I'm trying to educate black people on this shit. And they just won't, they can't understand it. And like, our ancestors fought about this shit. Like, yo, our freedoms are being taken from us. And as black people, when it comes to being free, we need to be super gung-ho about this shit. Because this has happened before. I'm telling you, it's slowly becoming a situation where people are giving their freedoms away willingly, man. And I just don't understand why black people can't absorb this in their brains. Like, you know the history of what America has done to black people. You understand what's going on. The government is the ones who put you in slavery in the first goddamn place. And now they're telling you to give your freedoms away and you're giving them away. That's mind-numbing to me. That is mind-numbing. I don't get it, man. Like, and if it's not enough of us basically standing up, it's not enough of us. You got a very minimum amount of people pretty much standing up against this bullshit. And honestly, it's not enough, man. It's just too many people sleep. And you know what they say, united we stand, divided we fall. And if it ain't enough of us standing up and too much of us going for this bullshit, it's pretty much going to be a situation where all of us get dragged down. You know? Fucked up, man. This whole COVID situation, this whole mask situation, all this shit is garbage. It's complete garbage. And none of this shit is true. Little history lesson for the people that are still watching anyway. Alright, so just last year, if anybody remembers, people have short memories these days. I remember this shit like just yesterday because it almost was. The Chinese people were about to overthrow their government. There was a big uproar happening in China. And China being one of the most powerful states and countries in the world, pretty much was about to be taken over by the people. You had the people in the streets pretty much speaking out against China, rioting, fighting the police back, beating the police, ambushing the police, using tactics. When the bricks were found, they did the same shit happened over in China with the buildings and all that stuff. The bricks were found out front of the buildings. They took the bricks and they basically put them in the streets to prevent army tanks, or not army tanks, but army vehicles or any police vehicles from driving over top of the bricks. So they used the bricks the government put there for them to fuck the buildings up against the government. That's what the government got pissed about. So they started fighting the people back, started fighting China back. China started sending the military in pretty much, but there was too many people resisting. So being outnumbered, they pretty much realized, yo, we gotta hit the emergency button. We're fucked. If we don't hit this emergency button right now and get everybody off this goddamn street, we fucked. We gonna lose our goddamn power. So what happens? COVID-19 mysteriously breaks out overnight. And it was December, I think January or February is when this shit broke out. Maybe February. So you had China really starting to beat that ass, and out of nowhere, this COVID-19 pops up. The next day on the news after this COVID-19 shit popped up, nobody was on the streets. The riot was magically over, yo. Nobody at all was on the streets. It was like a ghost town. All you saw was the remnants of a fight, but there was nobody out there. So what happens there is pretty much the whole world gets wind of what's going on pretty much, and they run with it. The news runs with it because the news is basically anything that happens, they're going to beat in the ground because it's easy coverage. They don't have to scramble for news for however long people are worried about that shit. They're just going to keep beating it to the ground. The problem with that is a lot of people are dependent upon the news for information. No matter how skewed the information comes out, or no matter how biased the information is. You can watch Fox or you can watch CNN. I tend to listen to both. I got liberal people who are around me all the damn time that are pretty much telling me what's going on CNN. Then I actually watch some of the Fox shit too. So I take in both and I draw my own conclusion. Some of that shit, if you were to watch me watching the news, Fox and CNN, some of that shit I hear, I say bullshit right away. You'll see me talking about bullshit. That's not true. Like, if you just saw me watching it, I already know what I don't believe. So When they feed me shit, I kind of pretty much try to sort it out myself. So with that said, the news ran with it and just beat that shit into the ground. And now because people are scared, people are willing to do anything that they can possibly do in order to be safe, even if that means giving up their freedoms. I mean, these people are giving away their ability to be free citizens in order to feel safe. And that is the number one thing you do. You do not give away your freedom to be safe. You don't do that. I think it was Thomas Jefferson, one of those motherfucking old ass slave masters, said some shit that was actually dead on. Like even clocks are right twice a day. Fucking broken clocks are right twice a day. So yeah, the motherfucker was a slave master piece of shit, but he had a good point. He said those that are willing to give up their freedom for safety deserve neither. And that's a fact, yo. That is a fact. Like, at what point do we say, nah, you know what, this is bullshit? They're going to have these kids doing social distancing in school if they even open schools back up. They're going to have them doing masks. They might even have mandatory vaccinations. You got to come in and get this shot or else you ain't coming to school. That shit is insane, man. And people are going for this shit. I don't get it, man. The world done lost its goddamn mind. Anyway, I had to get that shit off my mind because there's nobody to really talk to because everybody's fucking brainwashed. So, with that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Meanwhile, I will holler at you later. Peace out. One.